Hello friends, we're Lucy McConnell and Erica Penrod. We're authors and your hosts here at Angels Unscripted. This season, we're shifting gears and starting a new journey. We don't have it all figured out. We're writing and talking as we go. And we're inviting you into the stories behind the stories. We hope you'll come with us. This is season 3. Welcome to the ride. Hi, and welcome back to Angels Unscripted. I'm your host, Lucy McConnell, with my dear friend and co-host, Erica Penrod. And we are so grateful that you're here with us today because we are going to talk about terror barriers, which are real. It's a real thing.
I don't even like that word.
I don't either. We need a new phrase for that. Yeah.
If your mouth has to do that when you say a word, terror, it's probably, it just doesn't make you feel good inside.
Yeah, probably. Well, exactly. That's the whole, I think that's very apropos.
Yep.
Let's do a quick recap.
Okay.
About what we've talked. In case this is your first time joining us, we have talked about, we asked the question, what do you want? Mm-hmm. Big question. And maybe you're just like, hey, I know exactly what I want. Fabulous. Go for it. Most people take time to figure out what it is they really want. I think I took a good several weeks. I might even say a month before I came up with what I wanted.
And most people are scared to answer that question because or we answer it with what we think we should want. You know. So what do you want? Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
And then our next episode we talked about A, B, and C goals. A goals are goals you can do without much work. Mm-hmm. A B goal is something that you might not know how to do, but you could figure it out.
Right.
And then a C goal is something you have no idea how to do it. You have no idea how it's going to be accomplished, but that is your goal. You go for it. And so we here are all about C goals.
Yep.
Then the next episode we talked about growing your mailbox to make room for that goal to be accomplished. And we discussed several of the things that stand in our way. Most of the time it's ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like 99% of the time it is ourselves standing in the way, or what we believe about ourselves, or what we believe about the world. Change those paradigms, grow your mailbox, and make room for that C goal. Then we talked about smooth is fast.
Yes.
And how sometimes racing to the finish line is going to result in all the barrels knocked over, all the poles knocked over, all the cows scattered, everything out of the way, and your goal not accomplished. Right. So it's not about going fast. It's about going at the right speed, but going smooth and doing all the practice and the things on your off performance days that allow for a really great performance on performance days.
That just reminds me that I had posted for Gritstone Ranch. I had posted about, it's a video of my husband riding into the herd as he's getting ready to compete. And the quote or the words, it talks about proving that the quiet work mattered. And I really loved that. I loved like the quiet work mattered, that like all of the time and effort put behind the scenes really matters at this moment. And I think for our lives, that's the same thing when we're trying to accomplish these huge C goals that we have no way of knowing how it's going to happen. But it's the day-to-day, every moment, every minute of choosing to think about abundance, about prosperity, about growing, rather than retreating in fear. Those are the moments that matter.
Well, it's those quiet moments that the inspiration strikes.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even know.
When you're on that good vibration, when you're in that quiet vibration of receiving, of being like, okay, let me know which way I'm supposed to go.
Like, I'm in a good mood. I'm bebopping around my house, folding laundry, sweeping the floor, and all of a sudden, bam, I am like, I need to go do that. And I know, and I come in and I adjust something on my Facebook ads, or I do something else on my Instagram stuff, or I write down, okay, I'm going to write my newsletter this week is going to be about this subject because somebody needs that out there. I've had that inspiration. And so it's having that, like you said, that peaceful, abundant mindset of like, I'm not in a hurry. I don't have to race. I don't have to
smooth and steady.
It's like, I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I don't have to be the smartest or the quickest or the quickest wit or the quickest or any of those things. I just have to be able to listen to that inspiration and follow it and do it well.
Right.
And then results follow. Right. So smooth is fast. So today that brings us as if you've done all of those things and you're cruising along, you're going to hit a terror barrier. All right. Yep. Tell us what a terror barrier is.
I don't even know if I have like an exact definition of it, but basically for me, it's like I feel like I am living, like doing what I want to do as far as like focusing on my C goals. I'm doing the quiet things that matter. I feel like I'm really going really smoothly through the pattern, and then bam, I hit one.
Yeah.
And I just get stuck. I feel like it's like you hit a wall in some ways, mentally, emotionally, like, and it's frustrating because I know all the right answers.
Right.
I know all the right answers. I can repeat them to you.
And if I hit a terror barrier, Erica is the first one to tell me exactly what I need to do to fix it. And she's right. She is 100% right. But when you're the one that hits the terror barrier, those right answers, you have them in your pocket. It's like, I know I need to do that. I know I need to do that. Or I'm doing it. I'm just maybe not putting my full self into it. Those kinds of things. And so, yes. Yeah.
But okay, so it just dawned on me as you said that, why another person, when you have all the right answers, but why another person can come in with those same answers and you're able to just kind of grab onto that. You're grabbing onto that vibration, their energy. That energy, that goodness that person is bringing with them. You're able to kind of hold on to it for a second.
Because, okay, let's do the tuning forks, right? So the analogy that is usually given is that you have two tuning forks for vibrations, right?
Okay.
And they're the same tuning fork. So they're tuned to the same note.
Frequency?
Yeah, frequency note.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's say I hit this one and I started going humming. So I don't have to touch this one, but it will pick up that vibration and hum as well.
Okay.
And so now they're both humming, but I've only struck one of them. And so that's how they talk about the vibration affects the room. It's super easy. I'm certain many of our viewers, followers have had a boss that when they walk into the room, the vibration goes and just tanks, or everybody just kind of sinks down in their chair and is like, don't look at me, don't look at me. I don't want you to yell at me today, kind of a thing. We've all experienced the negative vibration so easy.
For sure.
So easily it comes through. But we've also all had a positive person that we're around at times that we're like, I love being around her or him because they make me feel so good. And it's their vibrations.
And it's that vibration.
Yeah. And so when you come in encouraging me when I'm in a terror barrier and you're like, you can do this, you can do this, that vibration helps lift me out of that terror barrier so that I then can, it may not pull me all the way up, but it gets me high enough up that I can grab myself and go.
Like, I totally agree. I'm not going to save you. Like, I'm not going to be able to just hand you whatever I have.
Oh, but I wish we could.
I know. It would be so great. But I can give you enough that you can just hold on for a second. And we were just talking, I had that same thing happen where I hit my terror barrier this weekend.
Yeah.
And I was able to grab onto someone else's and just enough that I was able to switch. Yes.
Right.
And then we talk about like the terror barrier is also, we talk about living the laws, like the laws that the universe was created under, the laws that God works with. And as you study the laws, you learn about the law of polarity, the law of opposition. So it only makes sense that if you're doing really good things, you're going to face opposition. Yeah. So that like when that happened with you last week, or it was last week?
It was last week. It was last week. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, of course you're going to hit a terror barrier. I would be a little worried if you weren't hitting a terror barrier because it's like on this side, there's so many beautiful things happening.
Yes.
So there has to be on this side some opposition. And so it only makes sense that you hit a terror barrier.
Yeah.
That said, then I turn around and hit my own this weekend, and it's not fun.
It's not fun.
And it's not easy to tell yourself, oh, it's because there's something great here.
I know.
No, you're stuck. You're stuck.
Yeah.
And so, but it's the awareness and the knowledge, like, I don't stay there as long.
Stay there as long. Yes.
No.
And I pick myself up.
Or you put yourself in a place that you can grab onto somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call it.
Okay, what do we do?
Help me.
If we don't have somebody around who is positive and can help us, because I know that there's a viewer out there right now who's like, every person in my life is negative and I struggle with this. So what can that person do to help themselves? And that's where we wanted to talk about
yes,
how to get yourself out of this. And also, you might be in a terror barrier for years. You might have been in a terror barrier for years. So if you felt a call to do something or your seagull was so incredibly big and then you backed off of it and you're like, no, that seagull is still there. I still feel the call to answer and do that seagull. And you're like, but I backed off of it before. It's not gone. It's still yours. You still get that. That is your call. That is who you are. That's part of your true identity on this earth, is those things that God has placed inside of you. Right. So you still have that call, but you may have hit a terror barrier and then backed off from that goal. Yeah. And then you've lived in that terror barrier when it comes to that goal for the last however many years, 5, 10, some people live in it for 25 years. But most people
are not even aware of it. So that I jotted down a note there, because tying this back into Gritstone Ranch and the series that we're working on, this played a big part in the storyline for us, right? We wanted to give our characters these really deep-rooted paradigms that have been passed on from generation to generation. And my husband and I were just having this conversation about talking about our grandparents and great-grandparents and how the paradigm has come through the line and how we have it, and then now being aware, oh,
maybe I don't want that.
Maybe I don't want that one. How can I change it so that my grandsons are looking, feel differently. And so I love that. I think that that's what adds that layer to these stories that we're writing, is because this is true. This is what we all deal with. Like, you might not even notice. And honestly, I think a lot of people will spend their entire life not aware that they are in a paradigm, like that this has been something they didn't even choose.
Right.
Or maybe they feel like they don't even have a choice to get out of it.
Right. Which is false. Both of those are false. Like, yes. Because every day you live that paradigm, you choose it.
Right. But a lot of them will never be consciously aware.
Yes.
So, yeah. But I love that. I loved the idea of applying that to this Gritstone Ranch series. And I love that we can talk about it here, but also apply it in our books. And so this is something that everybody can relate to.
Yes.
But okay, so talking about this and talking about like generational paradigms, and then, so however long you've been stuck in it, years, days, months, whatever.
Half an hour, hopefully.
How do you get out of it? Like, what if you don't have that person to call because you're the only one that's like, okay, I know I want to make a change. I can feel this, like, this pull on me.
There's some part of me that wants this.
That wants a change. What do I do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So one of the first things that we started doing with all of this was, it's a morning routine. And it evolved over time.
Yeah.
I can tell you what it is now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to what it was when we started. I think it was just affirmations in the beginning. And everybody out there, please don't roll your eyes and be like, oh, affirmations. No. It's writing them. So my morning routine now is I write my affirmation 3 times. And then I have another line and I draw a little heart. And then I write the name of 3 people that I'm sending love to. And I don't just write the name. Like, I close my eyes, I draw in a breath and gather love, and I picture that person and I send the love to them. Like, it's an exercise in sending love to somebody. It's not just here's the name, here's the love, but like it is a moment that I have with each of those people. And the recommendation when we started was to write the name of somebody who is annoying to you, or someone who has offended you, or someone you need to forgive.
You're struggling with.
Yeah, somebody that you struggle with, because honestly, those feelings are only hurtful to you. So you're trying to rid yourself of those feelings by continually sending them love and teaching yourself to love instead of have all that other
but
stuff.
Sometimes, okay, I admit this is my human self.
Human side.
My flawed human self. Sometimes I can't send someone love. Like, I'm really, like, frustrated and angry, and even, like, to the point of, like, no, I don't. But this helps.
There's a way.
Yeah.
So I have a good friend who has, well, I won't go into the whole story. Needless to say, the person she has a very hard time. She's like, I went into my heart to find love to send that person, and the heart like echoed empty. Like there was no love for that person in there. So she was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I said, well, you might not feel love for them, but God feels love for them. And so instead you say, God, please send your love to them.
That's exactly what
it's literally Jesus Christ and the atonement and the power of the atonement filling in and giving grace where we're not capable of something. Like,
and that's exactly the power what I was going to say is that has helped me, because it's easy for me to send love to people that I am like have sympathy for, empathy for. Somebody's lost and grieving, you know, that's easy for me, or a child that's struggling or something. But to send love to somebody that I am really struggling with, I'm just not capable of. But when I ask God and I'm like, I can't do this, will you just send your love to them? Yeah. And I see it as a triangle, and I think you helped me with this. Like, I see it as a triangle of like God, me, the person. And sometimes I know it's not coming through me to them. I can just see the straight line to God. But I am praying it up, you know, and then it's connected that way.
And when I'm sending to them, I know that God is also sending to them. Like it's going from both of us to them. Anyway, so yes.
It just works so well. And I do love that. Yeah. And I have my own, so my morning routine, I do.
Wait. I have one more thing on mine.
Oh yeah.
So then, 10 things I'm grateful for. I am thankful for, and I write out that.
On top of your affirmations?
I have my affirmation, and then I list 10 things I'm grateful for. So by the time I'm done with this, my mindset should totally be, I'm going to love the whole world and I'm grateful for everything. Like that is how I start my day. I have to start it that way. And it is literally, I stumble in from my bedroom to my desk, pull out my book, and I start. And the whole, I think the thing going around social media that I saw was, I pray that God will get in my head before I do every day.
Oh, for sure.
And that is my practice to make sure that my thoughts are in alignment with God and with good things.
And for me, I take that and I divide it in two. So in the morning though, I usually get up, I'll put something on to listen to as I'm kind of doing
get in your head first.
To get in my head first. I love that idea. And then when I get into my office after I've tidied and got dressed and everything, and I listen to some stuff while I'm getting dressed, then I go into the office and I write the seagulls that we talked about
as affirmations,
as like I'm so happy and grateful now that I have and I do those things. Yep. And so that's what I do. And I have one that's personal, and then I have one that's for our business. And so those are the ones that I do in the morning. And then, but at night, I do the 10 gratitudes. I think about the day, and I really try to find at least a few like truly grateful moments in the day. And I'm so grateful for them. And I just jot them down. But I also am so grateful for the things that haven't manifested in my physical world yet, but I know are mine. Yeah. And I'll write those out and things that I want to have happen for my family, for my children, for my grandchildren. I am so happy and thankful now. And I just do it as though it's happened. But the fun part for me is I include my husband in this. Yeah. And I say, okay, I need your gratitudes. And he'll say, and he'll start listing. But it changes like going to bed with gratitude in your mind. Yeah. Like, and then I send the love to 3 people at that point too. Yeah. So I just kind of split it up in both ends of the day. And that also so that I can include my husband, because he's not super good at writing stuff down. But if I'm writing it down, at least he'll talk about it with me, and we'll have this little moment of gratitude together. And so honestly, I think that's probably the biggest way that you start moving.
That is how you move yourself.
Yeah. Yep. Like you start making a change is just
start writing it
focusing on those little things and writing them down.
And if all you can do is ask God to send love to people, and if you're like, I thought my gratitudes every day would be the same thing. And I am shocked at how different they are every single day. Like I am not writing down the same. I thought, okay, I'm going to go through the whole house and I'll be like, I'm thankful for my fridge and I'm thankful for my stove. And it's not like that.
I can hear like a little kid's prayer, like, thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my teacher. Yep. But for me.
But it wasn't. It's not. And it never has been. From the very beginning, it never has been. And I'm just shocked.
On the flip side of that, for me though, I do write a few of the same things over.
They're coming.
But I genuinely feel so much gratitude for them that I don't feel like it's like redundant.
Right.
Like it's like, oh my gosh, I genuinely feel so much gratitude for this.
Yeah.
And it can happen. But I'm with you in that I'm surprised at the variety of things that when you stop and like I just think about the day and I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened today. And this happened today. And and I like just for example, yesterday I had we were out of town on the weekend and then Sunday we were home Sunday and just had a lot of things going and I had planned out my week and you and I had, we do this. We done our schedule and I knew what I needed to do on Monday. And when I woke up yesterday and I ran down, did chores, fed horses, come back, start going through things. And then I was like, I wasn't planning on cleaning the house because I'm in editing mode right now. Editing is
I know
a lot. And so I'm trying to get this book edited this week to get up to the editor. And so I thought if I can just buckle down Monday and have it out by Monday night, and then that was my plan. Well, then my girls are home and I'm like, wait a minute, can you guys help me with the bathrooms? Because this hasn't been done. And and I was like, I shouldn't worry about it. Well, they started cleaning and then I was like, you know what? I wonder if I take this couple hours, get this all done and get the laundry arranged and I put everything in order. And then I decided, you know what? I could edit today and then I can also, we have a library day Wednesday. That will work out. I will finish it then. Yeah. And all of a sudden I felt like this peaceful feeling come over to me of like, this is what you were supposed to do. So I put things in order first. And I was going to skip that part. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I felt like, just like that opportunity and just that feeling of like, no, this is what you should do. Yeah. You should put things in order because you're going to be able to better focus. And then I was still able to get like 3 chapters edited before our graduation party last night. And so when I did my gratitudes last night, I looked and I thought, I saw so many things happen today that I had not planned. And the gratitude was really there, like so happy. Yeah. And then I had my grandson's kindergarten graduation today. So that's definitely going on my gratitude list. And then your son's graduating tonight.
I have a graduate tonight.
I have 2 nephews graduating tonight. So it's just a big graduation day.
It is. And a big day
so
of
exciting.
Gratitudes. And then you look back on the last 12 years with them in school and just so incredibly grateful for all the things that they've been able to do, but also all the people that have influenced them in so many amazing ways. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep. So much gratitude out there. There is so much to be grateful for. There really is. And so that is how you get yourself out of it. That is how you start. And if you're thinking, I can't even think about my seagull, start with gratitudes. Yeah. Because it'll get you there. It took a couple of weeks. And then I can't even remember what happened. I probably wrote it down in my journal, but I should have looked it up. But I thought I handled that better. Like it was this realization that I was changing and that my paradigms were shifting and I was able to handle things better. And so I think about where we're at right now. We have a lot of change. We have graduation and then Caleb's going to Ecuador in a couple months. And then my oldest is buying a house. And then I have my daughter's a senior now. All these changes, all these things happening. And I think where my emotional state would have been before I started the gratitudes. And I probably would have been looking at all the things I was going to lose. Right. Rather than looking at all the wonderful things that I'm gaining and grateful for. And so it really does shift your mindset. Yeah. And it makes you feel better about your life. Like you can see all the good things. So yeah, interchange.
And it's something that I feel like we're going to get better at it. Like the more we work on it, it's gonna get better and better and better.
And hopefully those terror barrier moments that we get will not
last as long,
and they won't hit as hard. We'll be like, oh, yeah.
It's still surprising when they do sucker punch you. Yeah, I was like, that's how I felt this weekend.
I was not expecting. I know that's how I was the week before. But, I'm like, I was not expecting this to come up.
But almost
at all.
The relief of getting out of it was such a genuine high of like. Just thankfulness and gratitude of being like, oh, I didn't stay there. I don't have to stay there. So thankful for this knowledge, and so thankful to be, doing what we're doing and writing these books. And like, I'm so excited about the journey that this is.
Yeah.
Like,
and I hope we have people taking this journey with us. I hope you guys are like focusing on these things, that you're putting stuff into practice, and that you're becoming a new creature, because it is honestly a beautiful way to live. I can tell you, yes, the terror barriers hit, they do, inevitable, especially when you're doing good things. But like the life is such a beautiful life when you live one in gratitude and abundance. It's amazing. So, so I hope you're getting something out of all of this.
At the end of that. I was like, wait a minute. This isn't the right place.
You can amen me anytime you want. Amen, sister.
No, but I love it. It applies to, we are authors, and we're applying this to our business, but our personal lives, our families. And I just told you about my family was at the cutting this weekend, and some situations with competing and horses and things. And we had to go back to like, okay, let's stop. Let's rethink this. Let's be grateful, and how quickly it changed everything. So no matter what you're doing, and if you're part of this horse crazy loving world that we belong to, it works with that as well. And so,
did I tell you we sold our horse?
No.
Yes, we sold Blue.
Oh, you did?
We did. It's bittersweet.
Oh, it is bittersweet. A lot of lessons learned.
Missing him because he was a big personality around here. But anyway, that was a side.
That was a tangent, huh?
Hey. Well, we're going to sign off now, but we're grateful you're here. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe and share our videos with your friends so that other people can find them. And we will see you next week.
See ya.